Hey class, today we're going to be working on drawing a basic part. We're just going to draw like a water bottle. Okay, nothing really that fancy, but we're going to learn two different tools that'll be really helpful for you as you design things. The first is a revolve tool, and the revolve tool is kind of like extrude, but it's for round parts. And I'll kind of show you and explain on the water bottle why it's really helpful. Um, and I'll probably explain it actually in front of the whole class. But the revolve tool is the first one. The second one is the offset tool. The offset tool can save you potentially a lot of time when you're drawing parts because it will offset parts you already have. So there's times you want everything offset a certain distance. It just saves you a lot of time. So we're going to start by just getting a new part pulled up here. We're going to start a 2D sketch. We're going to sketch on the XY plane. Okay. First thing when we're using the revolve tool or doing a revolve part is we always want to start with what's called a center line. So I'm going to draw a line. Probably can hardly even see it. I'm going to hover over it so you can. Okay. And then I'll hit escape, get out of the line tool, and I'm going to right click on this line and I'm going to make this a center line. Okay. And it becomes dashed. This means it's not something that I can actually like extrude or expand or whatever. It won't like make the part. We can use it to dimension. We can use it to reference to all sorts of things. And we'll use it as the center point for our line is the important part here, okay? Then, whenever we're using the revolve tool, what we're doing is we're drawing basically half of something, and then revolve is it makes a round object off of that. So we're going to draw half of our circle, okay? So when we go over, we're just going to draw half of our part, not the whole part. I'm going to go over. I'm going to come up at a bit of an angle, click like so. We're going to go all the way up to the top, click over, we'll go up, and we'll stop when it hovers over the top line. But I'm not actually going to complete this part, and I'll show you why later. I'm not going to complete it all the way through. So we just have this basic shape. The other thing I'm going to add to this is I'm going to add a circle, and I'm going to clip onto here, and I'm just going to draw a circle like so, and I'll get to that later. Now, let's start by dimensioning, okay? First thing I want to do is I'm going to make this 8 inches tall, okay? So I'm going to go right to my center line. I'm going to make it 8. It's kind of annoying, didn't make it there. Click on that edge, click on that one right there. We'll make it 8, not 58. 8 inches so that they are together, okay? So there's our part, the very first start of it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my line here, and I'm going to bring it to the center line. I'm going to click, and you'll notice that when I bring it down, let me zoom out and get it correct here, it doesn't dimension the center line. It goes all the way across, and it gives us the diameter symbol. This is a nice thing with center line. It knows it's the center, so if I'm going from here to the center, it knows it's going to be twice as big on the other side. So the diameter for this water bottle is going to be 3 inches in diameter, okay? So go 3, boom, makes it, moves everything over. Looks all nice and handy dandy there, okay? So I kind of really screwed up on dimensions. This might be a little bit of following along you're going to have to do here. But I'm going to come up here. We'll start at the bottom here. I'll scoot this one over. This one right here is going to be, we'll do this one 1.25, okay? We'll do this angle. I want to click at this spot right here. I'll click right there, and we'll make that 1 inch, okay? This circle, I'm going to click on the center point of the circle, and I'm going to click on the end of the line, okay? It's going to be way off right now. But we're going to make this one, we'll say it's going to be 1 inch from the top, okay? 1 inch from the top. This right here is going to be a total of, we'll go 0.75 inches, okay? And then this line right here is going to be 0.5 inches, okay? Actually, let's even go a little bit less now. Let's go 0.325, okay? 0.5 there for the top, 1 inch down. And then let's make this circle 1.25 in diameter, okay? Got that right there. And then we're going to go around here, and I'm going to do some trimming here. So I'm going to trim, okay? And it's going to make my water bottle like so. And then I'm actually going to even make one more here. I'm going to take a line. I'm going to start up top. I'm going to draw it straight down like so. Hit escape. And then we're going to dimension this line. I'm going to go from the side over, and we're going to dimension that over 0.5, okay? And then we'll grab my trim tool again. I'm going to trim, okay? So we got kind of this funky little circle-y thing going on, but that's the basics, okay? That's going to give us the basic shape of our water bottle here, okay? Now the second thing I want to do for this drawing is I told you we're going to learn 2 tools. First, the revolve. We haven't quite gotten to that. We've just done the setup for the revolve tool. The second thing we want to do is we want to use the offset tool. And the offset tool is up here, offset right like so. I'm going to click on offset, and I can click on a geometry, and you can see I can drag it out or in, and I can offset the part, okay? And for this one, I'm going to bring it in, and now this one's kind of weird. It doesn't give you a nice like offset text box or something. I kind of like how SolidWorks does it better, but I'm going to drag it in, and then I haven't hit anything. I'm going to type in 0.125, and then I'm going to hit enter, and it will lock it in 1/8 of an inch offset from the edge here, okay? And at this point, I need to do some more stuff. It also offset from the center line. I don't actually want the offset from the center line. In this case, I'm going to delete that line right there, hit escape from the offset tool, delete that, and then I'm going to lock some things in here just because it will make our part correct. So I'm going to bring this line over. I can draw an extra line like I did there, or I could just click on the end of this line and drag it over. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lock these two at the top together. I'm going to draw a line between our two parts, 1 and 2, okay? So at this point, we have a full feature made all the way around, okay? Use offset. I'm going to hit finish, zoom back out here, okay? And then I'm going to go up to the Revolve tool, and automatically, should do this correctly, it's going to select my profile, which my profile is sketch 1, and it's going to realize I have a center line here. It's going to make that center line my axis, okay? And we can see that it made this water bottle exactly as it is. Inside's hollow. It's exactly an 1/8 inch thick all the way through. So it made this nice water bottle for us, okay? We hit OK, and we've got all of our geometry there. Now this is a little bit clunky here, so just to keep practicing, we're going to make this look a little nicer here. We'll grab the fillet tool. We're going to do an 1/8 inch fillet on a couple things here. We're going to add an 1/8 inch fillet on that edge, 1/8 inch fillet on that edge, a little 1/8 inch fillet on that edge. We'll hit OK, and it just makes everything look a little nicer, a little more rounded over. But there's our water bottle, okay? Just a simple revolved part and using the offset tool. Great for doing cylindrical features. Okay, let me know if you have any questions while you're drawing it.